Welcome back to Goo for Science. My name is Sarah and this is Lab Economics 101. So I had to do an experiment and the humidity from the air was getting in the way of my measurements. It was just making a mess of things for me. So I went away and I thought about it and I rescheduled my experiments and I thought about it some more, and then I started complaining about it to random people, and one of them took me into a back room that was full of equipment that had been stored for 10 years or something like that. Never throw anything out. And then they pulled out this box and it was perfect for what I needed. It just needed to be fixed up a little bit, so that's what we're gonna do. So this is a photo of the original box because I didn't think of doing this video until after I'd already started the modifications of the box. We take off the holes where your hands go because that's ancient leather that's all crackly, so I need to replace that. A glove box is a small controlled environment where you can pump in a gas that you want and it pushes out whatever atmosphere was in there to begin with. So for me, it would be humidity. So I was pumping in dry nitrogen. You can also use dry air or argon if you've got samples that are going to respond very quickly to oxygen. For this box, where it has a shelf in the middle that is really handy for putting your samples on, but the system that I was going to be putting it onto has a part that goes right where that shelf is. So I had to cut a big old hole in that shelf. So this was a last minute thought to film this. And so I was doing it in Fina's living room, which has this wonderful picture window and was giving me lots of great light. But this process took several hours, and so we lost the light, so you'll see that fading through the video. And then we ended up having to move to the dining room where there was better lighting, so that's gonna be that change. Lesson number 1 in lab economics is never throw anything away. Lesson number 2 in lab economics is get what you need wherever you can. For example, silicone baking sheets. The number of times that I've done an emergency trip to the hardware store to get, I don't know, pipe fittings. So this is my job. I get to be creative and mess around with old pieces of equipment and new pieces of equipment and all kinds of different tools to try to solve different problems. And now for the super precise lining things up, I always give myself a little extra so that if I mess up, then I can always trim it off a little bit. I offset these crosses so that there would be smaller gaps for the gas to get through. So then you have high pressure inside the box, lower pressure outside the box, and a tiny little gap so that you don't get any backflow of moist room air into your box. So it's time to put the nuts back on. So I've got a lock washer and a washer and a nut, and I misjudged where the camera was pointing. I don't know how. Sorry guys. So the result was I pumped dry nitrogen into the box, and the humidity in the box was about 5% and outside of the box was about 30%. So the box worked fine, but my samples still had so much moisture on them that I wasn't able to see what I was looking for. Thanks so much for watching Goo for Science. Hit the subscribe button so that you get notified on when we post new content. We're aiming for every Thursday to get new videos and every Tuesday to get teasers on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.